heard. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We are back again. It's that time of the night where we have to give you an update. There's a lot that was happening in court today, and I'm sure you are aware of it. And we are also aware of it because Icon Aziakal. Amelie, I'm not going to waste time. Just do what you have to do. Also on your side, please like the video, share the video, do everything that is necessary so that you continue listening to this Ntumantumane in Zulu. Wish.
Yeah, wish ngampela. So guys, we're going to try and process and put together some of the pieces, okay? It's getting difficult with every police officers that coming to testify in this case. So a new witness took to the stand this morning. And hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another unpacking of the Senzo Meyiwa trial.
Yes.
Today's the 2nd of November, 2023. Yes. And a lot went on in that courtroom. This witness today, I don't know whether to say that he was aware of what he was doing or not. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if it was intentional or he was not prepared to come and testify. I don't know. I'm not sure. So the focus has remained on the work of the police officers who arrested and detained accused number 1 and 2 around the time the state say they confessed. Baloyi introduced exhibits that this witness was going to testify on, and it consisted of OB records from various police stations. Now, Mnisi asked to address the court regarding the witness that was about to testify. Now, Mnisi said that on the document they have been furnished with by the state, they've noted that there's a portion where this witness also participated as a commissioner of oath before the court could resume. They took this up with Advocate Baloyi, and he says that we wanted to clarify with him as to what would be the beginning of a testimony on the aspect of admissibility of the document that were mentioned at the beginning of the trial within a trial as they relate to accused 3 and 4 and 5. So it seems this man was a commissioner of oath in one or all or some of the statements for accused 3 and 4 and 5, of which they have denied that they've made statements, right? They've given instructions to their legal counsel that they have not made any statements. However, the state is in possession of their statements. So the answer we got is that this witness, this is Mnisi now telling the court that this witness will not be testifying about accused 3, 4, and 5. But the challenge we have is that his name is included in the statements that they were furnished with regarding the interview with the suspect. Mnisi said the defense for accused 3, 4, and 5 needed clarification on whether the witness will be called in respect of accused 3, 4, and 5. He said we will want to know exactly what it is that the state wants to demonstrate. What is it that the state will want to argue as per the statement before the court that will help us prepare our defense in line with what the state will want to argue. So Baloyi said that he did furnish them insofar as the witness might have commissioned the warning statements for their clients. Now, his argument is that the colleagues, his learned colleagues, that this witness will be confined to the statements that were made by accused 1 and 2. Firstly, he said that the evidence is not going to touch on that. And secondly, he said according to his understanding is that the defense's position is that accused 3, 4, and 5 never made any statements. It's then for the state to show that indeed a statement was made And they must keep in mind that at this stage, it is only about voluntariness of the statement and not the content thereof. So he's saying that within a trial, his concern as the state is the voluntariness, whether these statements were made voluntarily or not, and not what is inside the statement. Well, and also the fact that just because the defense have said, or the accused have said, they did not make any statements, now does that deny them the right to look at what they say is the statements that they have made? Okay, does it make sense? Does it mean that just because I say I did not make a statement, now you are using a statement against me in court, I don't have a right to see the contents of that statement? Is that what Balo is saying over here, or am I misunderstanding him? So Sergeant Mogani's evidence says that should it reach to that point about the contents, will only be relevant at the stage if the contents of those statements are disputed. But for present purposes, Balo said we're not going to canvass that. So the state previously said that they had warning statements by the three accused. That's accused 3, 4, and 5. So the judge asked Baloyi that the defense argues that their client did not make any statement, but they also want to know about the contents of those statements, calling it an oxymoron. And Baloyi said it's a two-pronged attack on the warning statements, but they are of the view that shouldn't be an issue at this stage given that defense. Now Mnisi said or argued further to say that it needs to be contextualized when they say that they didn't make any statements. He was not sure if he could tell what happened, but ultimately it would have to come to the court. He said that when he said he did not make any statement, it does not mean that it is something that is not contained in the document. There is something contained in this document that they were furnished with, which he does not bear any knowledge of. And on the basis of what is contained on that document, prima facie, the statement that was made, but their defense is that he did not make that statement. That is what he was saying, and he did not make that statement. So the state insisted that they would want to prove the statement, and Mnisi said, I don't think that they would want to prove the statement simply for the sake of proving a statement. There's something contained in this document that the state would want to demonstrate and bring it to the attention of the court. And the judge asked if there's any unlawfulness in that aspect, because he says this court, if anything is unlawful and does not comply with the Constitution, it won't allow it. But he said, I don't know what you guys are talking about. All I know is that the state is telling me that they have a witness who is not going to traverse the evidence of accused number 3, 4, and 5. He's going to testify on that of accused 1 and 2. So let that matter be resolved by the evidence. And the judge continued to say, I told you about officers of this court who tell this court one thing and the other thing. What should I do? If those statements are inadmissible, we will see. I don't know. I can't prejudge the issue now. So he says he sees no prejudice. Okay? So yeah, guys, that's what basically what was happening. They're arguing back and forth with regards to Mnisi's suggestions or propositions. So Mnisi continued to say that they don't know whether they should cross-examine this witness or what. And the judge said they have a right to cross-examine any witness who testifies. So the state called the next witness, which was Sergeant Bongani. But before that went on, I would like for us to digest what was happening here. Okay, so I find it weird that this witness, Bongani, also appears as commissioner of oath in the statements that were taken by accused number 3 and 4 and 5. I mean, where are the other police officers? Couldn't they have been other police officers like who were going to? It seems like it's one group of police officers. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. It's just so dodgy to me, in my opinion. And considering the fact that these three accused number 3, 4, and 5 were already convicted and they were already in the prison. Like, what is Bongani doing now there? Well, couldn't they have assigned somebody else? So that's something that I found very weird. So the state called the next witness, which is Sergeant Vusmusi Bongani. Now, Sergeant said that he's been a sergeant in the South African police and he joined the service from the 4th of August 2002. After training, he became a detective at Yeoville Police Station in Johannesburg in 2004. He was taken to Hillbrow Tracing Unit, and then in 2006, he went back to Yeoville as a detective. 2007, he joined the Vehicle Theft Unit, and in 2010, he joined the Provincial Taxi Violence Unit. That is where he met Gininda. He was still a captain there. So now we know that Brigadier Gininda has a connection to provincial taxi units in the police. Why am I choosing to highlight this? We all know that accused number 3, when they investigated him for the case that he's currently serving time for, it was related to this unit of taxi violence. Right? If you guys can remember, it was related to that. So in 2012, he went back to the Johannesburg Vehicle Theft Unit. And in 2016, he joined the National Cold Case Unit in Pretoria. Now, I don't know when Brigadier Gininda joined the Cold Case Unit in Pretoria. I don't know. I have no idea. But you guys who know, let me know on the chat, because I'd like to know that. When did he join? Because Mohane says he joined in 2016. So we don't know when Brigadier Gininda joined. And he is the head of this cold case unit from, I don't know since when, but he's the head. So Mohani said his job is to collect dockets from all over South Africa that have cases that they are faced with. It doesn't sound right when he says cases that are faced with, because they're in the cold case unit. He should have been more specific. What type of cases? Because now, later on, we're finding out that you are arresting for possession of illegal ammunition, which is a case that is recent. It's not a cold case. So how it come is it with your cold cases, there's new cases that are piling up as you are investigating the cold case. Why can't you investigate the cold case, get your proper conclusion and investigation with this cold case, and leave the other cases that are fresh to the right departments that should be handling those cases, the right jurisdictions? I don't know. I find this to be quite a mess, and I will elaborate on it later on at a later stage. So he is part of the investigation team in this matter, and his duties entail being a detective, to investigate suspects, to take exhibits for downloading. The most important part, he says, is to make arrests after investigating. With cold cases, I don't think this should be a priority of making arrests. In my opinion, with a cold case, you need to make sure that you have the right people. And it means your investigations must be thorough. For a cold case, I don't think the investigation lasts a year. I think it should last more than that. I don't know, you guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe but to have started the investigations in 2019 and by 2020 you're already making arrests, it's not giving proper investigations were done, unfortunately, in my opinion. It's more giving like we had to make an arrest. Do you understand? And for him to even mention it, it got me troubled, that your priority is to make an arrest. It's not to investigate properly to know that you've got the right culprit. Asas. But then Baloyi asked, can you tell the court what happened in December of 2019? Mogani said in December of 2019, Brigadier, who was still a colonel back then, Brigadier Kininda, received information about the Senzo Meyiwa murder and sat down and discussed the matter with them. They were told that 5 men, but before he could continue with regards to the 5 men, Baloyi asked, you don't need to go into details. What did you do? Now here I felt like he was stopping him because Mogani was about to give us the juice. The crux, the sauce. And I just felt irritated because now maybe is it part of hearsay? I don't think so. Oh yeah, it is part of hearsay when he says they told them that. But then Brigadier Kininda is going to testify, is he? So is it hearsay? Is it still applicable, that hearsay objection, if he's still going to come and testify? I don't think so. So I needed to hear, okay, they were told that 5 men, well, these 5 men that they already had in December of 2019. Note that down, guys. They already had 5 men in December of 2019. So Baloyi then asked, you don't need to go into details. What did you do in December of 2019? Mogani said, while we were investigating, the name of Bongani Ntanzi came up and an informant told us that he was involved in the matter. We looked into it and tried to find out what he had done and tried to establish how we could locate him, and we found out he worked at a mine in Western area. We looked for him, but we couldn't find him. We also found out that there were other cases he was involved in, and we went to look for those cases, which we found and discussed with Brigadier Kininda and Sergeant Mohola. In December, we looked for him, and that was late 2019 and early 2020. So he says we looked for him until we found out that he stayed in Phokeng in Rustenburg. So they were looking for accused number 2 in Western area. And then they found him in Rustenburg in Phokeng. Later on in 2020, around April, they started hearing that he's in Phokeng. So they found him in June of 2020. And there was another big case of Nongoma, which he was involved in, and another case of phosphorus, but that had nothing to do with this matter. Now, the details of this phosphorus case and this Nongoma case, initially, I didn't understand what was going on. Okay, because I even mentioned it, guys, with the prior video. I'm like, how is this Nongoma case connected? Phosphorus, what is this phosphorus case? So I guess today we got the details of these cases. And he said, I was with the late Sergeant Mabena. And this Sergeant Mabena apparently has passed on. He worked for the crime intelligence in the SAPS. And he passed on last year in September, allegedly in a car accident, and Sergeant Mabena was the one collecting information for them. He was also the one working with other informants, helping them in this case. So Mogani said on the 16th of June 2020, we arrived in Phokeng. Since our informant had told us where we'd find him, we followed up on that information. We went there during the day and we saw him. Mogani said in the evening of June 16, 2020, we then went to Phokeng police station. By law, he says, when we got to a different location, we needed to go to the local police station to ask for help. We informed them that we were from the National Cold Case Unit and we did not know the place well. And it was late at night and we did not trust anyone. So Mogani then said that they accompanied the police officers of Phokeng, accompanied them to where they'd seen Ntanzi during the day. So according to Mogani, they looked at Ntanzi, they followed him, they found him. And then they went to the police station to ask for assistance. And then they accompanied them later on to go back to Ntanzi where they had seen him during the day. guys. Ziyakhala. So he says, we knocked on the door of the room where we'd seen him at earlier. We informed him that we were the police and he opened for us. Mohani said, we found him with this Motswana girlfriend. Yo, isn't Mohani spicy? Okay, guys, this is 2020. So Bongani Ntanzi was saying he was paying lobola in 2014 when the incident of Senzo Meyiwa was happening, right? So we don't know what happened to that relationship or that situationship. We don't know whether it existed or not. We don't know. We had hoped that the bank statements would show us something, but according to what the state has given, there were no transactions during that time from his bank account. So Ramusipiri had asked that he wants to do his own digging into that bank account. We don't know if he will find anything. We don't know if he will be allowed to even do that. So hopefully he does it and finds something, because it's very difficult for me to believe that there were no transactions when he had leave, number one. Number two, when he had asked prior, and apparently this leave he asked it for in July for October. So how was he gonna know while taking the leave in July that in October I have a job to do at the Spaza house? So a lot of weird things are happening with this case. So Mohani said, we found him with his Motswana girlfriend. Yeah, he had to throw that in there. The Motswana girlfriend, I wonder where she is now. And he says, I told him he was a suspect in the Nongoma case of murder, where a gun was also discovered. So since they were sure it was him, as their informant had shown him to us. Now, guys, remember when Baloyi was stopping Mohani when he was about to say 5 men and continue, while they met in December of 2019. Now, where does this Nongoma case now come from? Because I thought that Mohani was doing an investigation for cold cases. Doesn't he work for the cold case division unit? So now the Nongoma case, it's what Ntanzi initially got arrested for. Why couldn't they arrest him for the Senzo Meyiwa case initially? Please, somebody answer that for me, because I don't get it. Why your investigations were on the Senzo Meyiwa case? Why not arrest him for that? Why now is this Nongoma case popping up? And why is it not dealt with in Nongoma, since it's a Nongoma case? Jurisdiction, does it not matter when investigators of cold cases are working? Because this doesn't feel right. But hopefully it makes sense at a later stage, because right now it doesn't feel right. It's giving something that I don't want to say right now. Okay, so since we were sure it was him, as our informant had shown him to us, they had informants, mtakabao. They had informants, they meant business, okay? They had informants left, right, and center. And according to Mohani's testimony, it sounded like there were many informants they had. I wonder if Zungu was one of them. I don't know. He says, I asked him what he knew of the Nongoma case, and then he said he arrested him. I then read him his constitutional rights and handcuffed him. Well, why are you not telling us what his response was with regards to that Nongoma case? And what is this Nongoma case? I want to know the details of this Nongoma case. I wish they could assist with that a little bit more. Then Baloyi asked, what were those rights? And Mohani said, we told him we were arresting him in relation to the case of Nongoma. Was it a murder case? We told him that he had the right to remain silent. Anything he said could be used against him in a court of law. We also told him he had a right to legal representation of his choice, but if he couldn't afford one, the state could help him with one. We then put him in the car and we drove to Pretoria North. It's a Nongoma case. You are moving him from Phokeng for a Nongoma case. And you are taking him to Pretoria North. Why? That's the question I have. Why didn't you take him to Nongoma for the Nongoma case?
So guys, we're going to just allow calls for now, to allow reset for something. If you would like to call, just to give a break to Emily, because she's going through something, as we know. So can we allow the calls as she will continue with the rest of what she needs to deliver. So as we know, that today it was a mess. It didn't make sense. Everything just didn't make sense. How things were happening, it just didn't make any sense. I guess we can have, for some weird reason, we're going to have people call in and tell us what they thought. This Dominic, for example, not being present for far too long, missing some cases. Did he ever existed? Was he ever there? Was he even present, for that matter? Because was he even a lawyer? Those are the questions that we're gonna need to ask, because it doesn't make sense. Everything that was happening. I'm trying to find where my notes are, but I'm failing. So let us keep the calls coming. Let's allow those who normally miss the chance of calling to have their say and tell us what they think. Because when we say this case doesn't look right, people are saying, no, this case is the way it's supposed to be procedurally. We have people who come with procedure and they nag us about procedure. What is happening? Who's going to win this case? Today, to me, it shows one thing. That time, Mzansi, hello, was being bought. Mzansi, hello? Can you hear me? Yes, we can also hear you, but trying to... Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, cool. Let's go then.
Yeah, I was saying, it's really interesting, because when that guy was testifying earlier on about how they got into the house or how they got into his room, he said he had the key in his pocket, right? Now, my question is, how does he have the... So, because he was arrested, so when you get to the police station, I'm assuming they search you and they take your belongings. So, did they ask him to fetch the key before they left for Rustenburg, or did he have the key while he was in the cells? Because the version is that they broke in.
Yeah, which is a believable version in any case, because look at it this way also. They claim that when they arrested him for the first time, there was a girlfriend in the house. So what happened to that girlfriend? Because they arrested him at 9. So did that girlfriend drive away, leave the house? So why would he take the key if there was a girlfriend?
Yeah, so there's another thing. But now, assuming he had the key when he left, how would he have had the key when they went back?
Exactly. It just doesn't make sense. And what do you think of the cases, similarities of the cases? He was arrested for Nongoma case, right? And then they went back. The reason for them to go back is to check if the hoodie, the so-called hoodie, is there or not. They now start looking for the hoodie, but they see a plastic. Were they looking for the plastic or they were looking for the hoodie? A hoodie is bigger than a plastic. How big must that plastic be?
Then they find bullets, just like they did with accused number 1.
Exactly.
So it's similar modus operandi. So it seems like, it was well thought out by Keninda.
Well
and
thought
now
out.
another thing is now that there's another statement that's being written on the 25th, and they're saying that they've shared the notes.
The notes.
But when did they share the notes? On the 25th. So which means they've had the notes all along, or what's the case there? Because
it is not clear. And what worries me is how the judge is trying to justify and defend all this. You had the notes. You write a note on the 25th of October 2023, as we were busy discussing.
Last week or something like that.
Yes. As we were busy discussing here, court of public opinion, so as the court proceedings that are happening, someone is busy typing the statement to close a certain loophole.
Because now he's listening to the cross-examination, he's listening to what's happening in court.
Yes. And then when they say they are fabricating, the judge is agitated. The judge wants to fight now. Who's fabricating? Who's that? But it sounds, it looks, it screams, everything says fabrication, because who has time to do that while they are dealing with the case in court?
And also, like, what's the statement? Is it to clarify something, and what prompted the statement? Is it someone that said, write a statement, or do you say, I'm going to testify, they must ask those questions. I just hope that tomorrow, when those guys start cross-examining, they really go in, because this guy is a very crucial witness. Him and Kininda, they are the main guys here, so...
But it is laughable. Yeah. Not only that, on the last part, what puzzled me is the discussion of Dominic with the DPP about postponing and all that. And when you postpone the case, and when with the appearances, it's not Ntanzi appearing on behalf of Ntanzi. This Mr. Dominic appears. Sometimes it doesn't appear. And when you don't appear, and there's a there's a case schedule against you, what happened? Don't they give some sort of either warning or something like that? Nothing of that matter. Dominic appears. It's all smooth. It goes well. But the accountability of the cases that he was appearing for is not the issue. They just change quickly to this case. No accountability of what happens to those cases that as you are arresting. No, there's no accountability. They just change now. The focus is on this case now.
And then another thing, maybe just before I give another callers a chance.
Yes.
I didn't really hear much about the other witnesses, the ones that were at the court when the magistrate was there. I didn't hear them speak about the interpreter, that lady that came. So I don't know if that was put. Say, was that lady there? Did they see the lady? Because I think that lady, she's the only one that testified about her, and the magistrate. But the other guys, I don't know if she was there. When did she leave? Or when did she enter? And things like that. I don't know if I missed that. The interpreter.
I'm not sure if I follow your question. You try to clarify it for me.
So the other guys, right? Is it Jonathan, and now with the one that is currently testifying? So the guys that were at the passage when they saw the magistrate, or the guys that were requested to give their appointment certificates. Those guys testified about the charge. I didn't hear them testify about the interpreter.
Yes, no one is testifying about the interpreter. When it comes to, I asked it yesterday. I did ask that. I mean, what about the interpreter? They saw the judge going down. No one is saying that we saw the judge and an interpreter.
And the interpreter,
yes.
yeah.
And the judge obviously has a different view. The judge has a different story of how he saw events happening. That on its own, I think the way this case is looking like, you'll end up forgetting those other parts, other small things. You just focus on because the judge is saying, when I came in, this is what I saw. Others are saying the judge was already there. Others are saying the judge was walking towards them. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I guess something is going to give. But by the looks of things, the way the judge is handling this situation, the way the judge is defending everything, the way the judge is portraying how he's in disbelief when it comes to the defense, it clearly this case is going to go on, because if it doesn't go on, obviously something must give in. So this case must go on. You must grant this trial within trial to the state and say, yeah, you have demonstrated enough for me to actually believe you, because I already believe you by the looks of things. But in a normal court, this would have been thrown out. This whole trial within trial, this would have been a slap in the face of the state. The state is trying to say, the guy says, I made a statement, but the statement was not clear. And then the state now says, that document, is it notes or same strategy as ZUNGU? What happened to the notes? I destroyed them. Or we destroyed them. We shred them. And the judge is entertained by that. It's okay. It's all right. Something's not right in that court. Something is not right in that court. These good people took Spear to change his pens, but okay, this one, I think this one is the yesterday one. In his entry, Mohane wrote no visible injuries. Keyword, visible. Yeah, but do you even consider looking at this thing and trusting what is happening? Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Please reduce the volume, and then let us go.
This case is gonna go on because.
Can you reduce the volume?
Yes, I have switched off the volume.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Emily?
So Emily is on a break.
Okay, yeah. No problem. No, I will to Anonymous. I'm following you, I think, for some time now. I called earlier, but I'm always listening. You know what? It's so painful just because we are human beings, and thinking that our life is supposed to be sort of like protected by the state. But what's happened to this case, it's just a sham. If you listen from the start of this witness today,
yes,
his story, it doesn't make sense from you. I was counted. I'm a mistake which has been on that statement. I think I came up with 11. When I was counting, I'm not saying all of them, they are 11, but they are more than that. What I counted, Amadet and case numbers, which were been sort of like being sorted, were about 11. And then tell me, the person who's saying he's got 21 years, SAP,
yes,
and have been arrested people and taking statement and making these case numbers, how could you manage a mistake I 11 in one docket?
A docket that you have worked on for far so long. This man came in 2016, came into effect to 2016.
And then,
Yes.
And then come to a point about this informer thing, what he's talking about, Bongani Ntanzi, they say and whatsoever. Mawi ukuthi bahamba bafika elokuzeni ephukeni lapho uNtanzi wayekhona bafika emini. According to stories kaNtanzi, uNtanzi uthi bafika endlini. Bengekho indlu baphula emkhukhwini lapho ohlala khona. Mawi ukuthi bafike emini bazofika ngo9 sebebuya nalabo abantu ababeba escortile bezomlanda. Chances of them coming in and breaking in and planting ama-bullets abathole endlini. Ungalale story sakhe, the first day when they arresting uNtanzi, they couldn't come out with those bullets.
Yes.
Ama-bullets bathola ngesikhathi sebesuka ecourt bethatha uNtanzi besiyabheka leso spot abantu esatholakala endlini. Bathi satholakala epicture. And then ungacalculate how many policemen which came from the first day. Ama-police ababuya la ephukeni police station, there were so many endlini ukuthi anyone can plant lokuzeni ama-bullets law. Secondly, the very second day when sebebuya, they can even still plant ama-bullets law. Then also calculate by 9 o'clock, the first time when they are arresting Ntanzi, they went to Epuken to ask assistance to come also arrest Ntanzi. Then also understand the mind city by 10 o'clock. We're in Pretoria to booking Ntanzi. We say driving from Epuken to Pretoria North, it's about 1 hour 45 minutes. How could you manage by 9 o'clock? Police station Ntanzi. Then by 10 sailing. That doesn't make sense at all.
No, it doesn't. But I guess they were flying.
Yes, 25 last week. While this history sakona, it's clear which umuntu obebukele abantu abatestifayayo, and then ends ama notes, and then after that talk to a statement of finally admit which these people they are true witness, really.
It just doesn't make sense. But here's the one that is very interesting for me. If you follow,
we are not lawyers, but we are not dumb by the way they think we can be. And this, sometimes people they blame people when they take law into their hands, just because it started from here, just because you think you can trust the system. But if the system is doing like what they are doing now,
yes,
everyone, whoever it's in which corner, can see which there is nothing here. It's just a makeover thing, and now it's becoming a shame to the nation.
It is a shame. It is a shame, unfortunately. But come hell or high water, we must get what we want. This seems to me it's like that. So
how would you ever saw a case? We have seen so many cases. We follow so many cases. Have you ever seen a case which have got something like 100,000 people which are witnesses?
No.
Witnessing one crime?
No.
Come on, guys. It's okay. Let me listen to some other people with their input. I thank you, Mr. Anonymous.
Thank you, sir. You see, what worries me is they are saying they went there before time to that Pugeng place. So that would mean they went the previous day. They checked and then they saw that everything is fine. The following day, they go ask for an escort, which to me looks like an alibi. That, okay, in fact, we were here. I can almost feel that those ones, if they knew less of what was exactly happening. But I mean, these people are coming from the National Cold Case Unit. What can you do? They have more. In fact, they exert more power than you. Mzansi.
Ntanzi, how are you, Mr. Anonymous?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, no, Mr. Anonymous. I was listening to the case today. Just to add on what the previous caller had said. Really, these guys went to Ntanzi's place to look for the hoodie that he was wearing in 2014.
Yes.
That's what they are saying. I'm asking. They went there to look for a hoodie that he was wearing on the identity kit. What color was that hoodie that they were looking for in the identity kit? Because he said that bambuze ngezihudi abegcike kwi-identity and they couldn't find the color. What color were they specifically looking for? Because on the identity there's no color there.
It's black.
It's black and white, a picture of some sort. And do they expect really to find a hoodie that he was wearing on 2014, allegedly so?
They do, these ones. These are good investigators. They know that you can keep that hood. After all this, you can keep the hoodie. And after really, if you did commit that crime, you still keep that hoodie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, the defense must just apply for precursor this judge, because this judge is entertaining all this nonsense.
Yep.
We are tired as Mzansi people, really. They are just playing with our emotions and all, the taxpayers' money that they are just using for this nonsensical case. No, it's too much. I'm just, so heartbroken for all these families, that are undergoing this nonsense. Ntanzi's family, all the accused families, including Senzo's family. If we are affected like this, how about these real people, guys? No, this judge must just, I think as Mzansi, we also have to maybe protest against this whole shenanigans that are happening now. It's too much.
It is too much.
It's too much.
It is too much.
Thank you, Mzansi.
Thank you.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm finishing that story. So, you saw the place yesterday. You come back today. You start executing your plan at 9 p.m. at night. You have the whole day. So what were you doing? The whole day you were chilling there, waiting for the night to fall and less people, less witnesses when you get in at 9. Not to mention the issue, which is just a hogwash approach of saying that you wanted to check for. What color were you checking for? Because this thing is black and white. It's a drawing, for that matter. It's not a picture. It's a drawing. It's not a picture. There was no color there when you saw that thing on the paper. It was just black and white. So what color were they looking for? And by the way, it doesn't even look anything like that guy. Mzansi, hello?
Anonymous.
How you say? How are you?
Good.
Ah, good man. Good, man.
Good, I'm good. No, I call sister calf.
Yes.
It's calf. Like, look like these guys. Okay, let me just ask, maybe even this, like, I know we are not lawyers or something like that, but they're not stupid though. We can follow. We can see that. Okay, here, me for myself, I don't care much. I just want to know the truth. If these guys are the guys about Senzo, they must face the music. But this is not how it's supposed to be. Like look at everything that is happening. Like how Gucci Bayenzile. And now, but now I can tell you these guys are at corner. No, they are just like trying all over, like, but and just that because they know the law. You understand? Those are the senior police. They just put those things of our cases that does not exist. When it suits them, by our guests when they to their cases. I mean, like now, Ntanzi's been portrayed as a guy who has many cases.
Yes.
But if you can zoom in on those cases, actually there are no cases there. They're just those more characters that like to buy time. So
Yes.
that the member of the court at this day. Why he has like and Monga like I know like other callers have already said this with this is a trend. Accused number one, hambila ayofuna ID endlini bathola ammunition. Again, accused number 2 again, hambila bayofuna ihudi. Later guy ogile ngalelo langa. Mind you, khuluma ngehudi that was wearing like 6 years ago.
Yes.
bayendlini le uthi wayegcoke rasta bahamba boyifuna ephukeni right they didn't want it that day bahambile bayenza izinto abazenzayo then baphinde babuyela nenini abayobheka endlini then that's when they got ama ammunition. And if you can remember Ntanzi said bahamba nami bayo search endlini then hasemotweni nomkhani wahamba babhena wabuke aphethe ipasi yamnyama ukuthi la into engiyitholile endlini yakho futhi ngambuza ukuthi ungene kanjani because the key is here with me. There was no answer.
Yes.
If you can still remember that.
Yes.
That's what they put it to us.
Yes.
So now bafethu noma kungathiwani ujaja khona la kudlalwa ngathi hayi
kudlalwa ngathi
no. No, even if we like to say to believe these guys they did this, but not like this, no.
Not like this.
Like now kudlalwa ngathi like for real. It's just that those guys abana mali. And you know what? These guys will be like noma thina singabanga umsindo senzeni, but these guys I see they're going to go down. Yeah.
I said so. I said so also.
Yeah, I think in sense they will just arrest these guys and say IEK paid. That's it. Paid now. But injustice is it's not fair for these guys.
So these people. These people, they bring a case that allegedly was thrown out in Wanongoma just because they know that there is something like that. What they go and resurrect that thing.
The guy from Tendisa, yeah, who accused number one.
Yes.
Trucks, ammunition.
Yes.
Trucks, ammunition.
Exactly.
Case trucks, it was not enrolled. Of course, there is something that was not there.
Right? No evidence.
And by that day. Just by then the prosecutor because and then with the case not enrolled. Just for the sake of so that they have something again. There's a trauma case to buy themselves time.
Basically, that's what is happening. All these cases, it was just to buy time. If you zoom into those cases,
and then if I say abantu upload Ntanzi was happy. Tell me, if umuntu angayi kahle engqondweni, umaboshwa amaphoyisa uhlala amalanga amabheka lapha belandela lezo zinto. Ntanzi akalalanga for days. If you were listening, mababala ukuthi bambukhe kuphi bambukha out kuphi. Ntanzi akalalanga for more than I think 2 days. Mawubala lapha or more. Akalalanga. Then that guy baba ephukeng, he was happy.
You were smiling, all smiling, according to Jonathan.
He was smiling and happy, and then he touched, guys, I know. Okay, anyway, we'll see tomorrow, Master Prophet Zamine, what is going to happen, but, no. No, this is a circus.
So they need to apply for something to throw this case out.
It's
Thank you. Well, people are saying by scope. That's what is happening. Mzansi, hello.
Hi, Mr. Engman.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Yeah, good.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm just calm as they come.
Look, Mr. Anonymous, I just want to say to the defense lawyers, now this is their time now to dig deep and counter the state. This is the time now for them to do the investigation thoroughly. When those guys went to Chris Hani, there are footages. There's somebody who mentioned that the police came, I think, the following day wanting the footage, and the hospital told them that they They want, I think, a letter from court or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now the defense need to do the investigation thoroughly and go head on with the state. This thing of shenanigan, man, it needs to stop. The defense needs now to stop being intimidated by the judge. They need to have all those cars that were used and all those things. They need to go back and have all the registry and everything of all those cars. Now they need to go head on with the state if they want to win this. But if they're going to be lenient and rely on technicalities and all those things, they won't win it.
They won't.
They won't win it. I'm telling you. When Ntanzi was arrested, he was with 2 guys. They need to have those 2 guys to come and testify. How was the arrest? They need to bring their own game now if they want to win this.
I'm worried about their demeanor when it comes to this. I like what Mngomezulu is doing. I must commend him. This whole thing could have happened if Mshololo supported Difo. You see what is currently happening right now? This trial within trial, it could have been the start of the situation. Because Difo was saying, let us try to just start with trial within trial, so that we crash the issue of admissibility of these things. If we started there, we wouldn't be here.
But the defense now, they need to wake up now. They need to wake up. And now, I don't know. They rather, if then it goes to the extent of arguing with the judge, they need to object. They need to show the judge now they're standing their authority. Because now they look demoralized. They look defeated.
They're just laughing, some of them.
They look defeated, I'm telling you. Now this thing, it was introduced, when was it? October 25th? 2 weeks back, 3 weeks back. The statement was introduced now.
Due to on continuous investigation, my lord.
And Mr. Williams, what happens to the 48 hours when they were not even taken to court? What about the rights for 48 hours?
The judges. Do you think the judge is listening to that?
That one was put aside. You know, it was brushed aside.
The guy is arguing on the merits of what is going on now. Yes. If the judge...
Those guys were never taken to court within 48 hours. They were kept there. For what? What was the arrest? Even if it was a Nongoma or whatever, he was supposed to be taken to Nongoma to face his whatever case in Nongoma, taken to court in Nongoma, you know. But what about the Senzo murder? Where does it feature here? Because now all this arrest is the unlawful of for possession of ammunition, and I haven't heard that they are discharged with the killing of Senzo.
They waited for that. So basically, this for me looks like it was just a waiting time. Let us wait, find something to keep them somewhere.
To keep it here, so
until we combine something and then we submit.
Yes, they were doing a case against them.
And they build it while they are inside the cells. Because
there's no way they can communicate with anybody.
Yes. If you had this guy was saying, Ginindi talked about, and then Malo was like, talked about the accused, 5 accused. And then Malo was like, no, Ginindi is still coming. Still coming. Whoa.
That's right.
And then that was it. So that's how we roll. No, fine. Let's give the others a chance.
Okay, Mr. Alo. Okay, man. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Zanzi, hello. Right. Let's see. Keep calling. Try calling if we miss you. On the 25th, the court. Okay. Mzanzi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Redmas, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to take more community.
Okay.
In the Free State.
All right.
And can I speak suit?
No, it's fine. You can shoot with your suit.
Okay. You know, Nzeki observed this case one a minute. And what I see here, there are lots of discrepancies. You know, we don't have to look far. I can see those weaknesses that are there and what I don't know. I get to them now. But I can. There are a lot of discrepancies on this case. What's that now? I always discuss this case with some of my colleagues and my friends. We've got in that person I've got a problem really. When this thing happened, who called those government officials and all of them? Who called those people at the scene?
The MEC and whatnot. I don't want to mention name, but I don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
Secondly, you know, people can take this thing light, but it's a very serious matter. When Senzo was shot, why? And it's very important. It's critical at the same time. Why were the police not informed on time?
Well, because they did, according to the judge. They tried to find help. They were busy, you know, moving around and didn't have time. They just were trying to save someone's life, as Kelly would say, that I was focusing in saving the father of my daughter's life. Yeah, that's basically it.
But Mr. Runmas, let's be realistic here. Let's be honest, man. When if ever have something like that in your neighborhood or someone else, what is the first thing that you're gonna do?
I call the police.
It's a robbery, by the way.
I call the police.
Yeah. When did Misia arrive at the scene then?
It could be 10, it could be 1. It changed.
What? Yeah. What was happening in between then?
A lot was happening. A mapping was happening.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Runmas. I don't know if this case is
it makes people boil.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
sir. Thank you. I know. Sometimes I think the reason they went to Sbia's house in KZN was to assess if his family is fit enough to challenge them. They went to assess his family's social standing. And also, if indeed there was a submission or even a suggestion that we will pay you handsomely, then they wanted to see a reaction. And the family, obviously, they don't know anything. Figure mapoisa, that's it, that's enough. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I cannot hear you. I can hear you, but the audio.
Yeah, I've stopped the audio.
Okay, good. Thank you. Shoot.
I'm good, man. Yeah, man, yes, I was very happy today. You know, today was one of the days and one of those witnesses that came to court and shed the green light, you know, on what happened when those guys were arrested. You know, it was very cool. You know, as far as I look, the way accused number 1 and number 2 were arrested, it seemed like they were planted. I mean, it seemed like this whole thing was meant to happen because it was staged. Yeah, I'm trying to say. So if you look at, you know when you get arrested, and then you are detained at the police station.
Yes.
They need obviously to take your phone and take your house keys, whatever you're in possession of. And then it remains in the locker, wherever where they keep your belongings.
Yes.
So I'm thinking maybe Kininda took the keys. And then they went to the house, maybe pretending like they're going to search. Maybe he planted the stuff, because if you listen to this guy, he says Kininda never entered the house. He was busy on the cell phone, you know, because he knew that there was something inside. I don't know. It's my view, but it kind of makes sense to me. Well, I don't know.
No, your view. It's your view again. It's your opinion. I mean, it doesn't matter that much in court. But I mean, you are sharing what you think, and indeed, if you plant something, what do? You chill outside and relax and call your family. Hey, did you change 1, 2, 3 while you are waiting for the people to find it?
You understand? Because now they're gonna say, they might say, no, even those police from Primrose, they were there, they can witness that. But
exactly.
Then they didn't know what happened before, because he might have taken the keys or planned. Now they come back and say, let's go to your house and search for that Oti. Knowing that the same thing, and then they ask also for the escorts. And then if you're a police officer and then you don't know nothing about anything, and then you've got a lower rank, you obviously believe.
You see, the only thing that was wrong about this, if you are going to create such a scenario, it mustn't be the team, your team, that would find such a thing. It must be the people that escorted you, someone who's independent.
Yes, and you know something that I also realized. You find out those guys, Jonathans and all those guys. I don't know. Let's assume they didn't know about the case, or they didn't know anything about what happened behind. Or maybe you might find out that they believed Kininda because Kininda told them, "No, this guy's got so many cases. He's got a murder in Wanongoma. And if a guy is a senior investigator, he's well trusted. You're gonna believe it. You're gonna kick a guy because you believe he killed Senzo Meyiwa." You understand the sense?
No,
so you might find out that there is a lot of money that was spent in bribing people. There is maybe one guy who just did these things and just put these other guys into the whole action.
No, I hear you, sir. I hear you. Your submissions are valid. Again, this is a court of public opinion. Here we accept theories.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I just can't wait tomorrow. I think tomorrow is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that guy is gonna be cross-examined, and I'm very sorry for him.
Yeah. No, let's hear if there's not gonna be a protection. Thank you. If you look at the body language of Baloyi, when a witness who's not well prepped, for me, this is according to me, comes in, this witness is a wild card. I think it's one of those who would say, "No, I'll come and do it right. Don't worry. And then all of a sudden, the guy comes and just messes it up. Maybe he's angry. Maybe he's doing it on purpose. Zansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and how are you?
Not bad. It has been good. Day was good.
Yeah.
Yesterday was good.
Good to hear. I just want to shoot out.
Shoot.
Yeah. I think for me to speak better, it's better when I'm speaking my language so that I can say exactly what I want to say. To start with, Ubaloyi akanayo i-case at all kwaba bantu aba. Into akayenzayo umane, since i-court iqalile from last year, wenza ama-corrections. Lento bekeyenza namhlanje ebiza lo elipolisa elizotestifya namhlanje. Ulibizela ukuthi lizokwenza ama-corrections labe abeke zathi xa kebuzwa lo muntu elipolisa libuzwa i-defense and ubalo ifuneke facene naye abe ekwazile ukuvala zonke zalukhozi. Indlela akezangayo le akanayo idocket eclear enento yonke.
Yes.
And i-pattern yabo uGininda i-one pattern. Nyani eyokusoloko baplota ama-drugs, baplota ilento i-ammunition. Every time ababantu babanjelwe into eyi-one abangena case. So they never bother ngabantu already abadonsayo njengo number 3 no number 4 no number 5. Because ababantu sebedonsa bona. That is why bengazange babe-torturisha njengaba babili.
Yes.
Baba-torturisha ababayi-2 kuba besazi ukuthi bafuna ukusulela icala kubo. I-clear nje mna ngokunokwami ndicinga uba i-defense ngoku the game is over. Bafanele ba-complaine ijaji isuswe ichithwe le case because ayikho at all.
Yeah.
Into nje yokusigulisa siyagula every time. Into eyenzakalayo uza amaphoyisa iphoyisa lizobheka elinye iphoyisa lizobheka elinye sizomamela icase yamaphoyisa la not icase yokubulawa kukaSenzo and before accused okuthiwa babulela uSenzo bengenzanga nto. Uyayiva nawe lento ukuthi abantwana babantu abayenzanga lento. They can be criminals, maybe some of them.
Yes.
But they had nothing to do nokufa kukaSenzo.
None whatsoever.
I think now it's about time, and for us lento iza kuthi sonke lento yenzakale kulaba yenzakale kubo today. Tomorrow ingaba ngubrother wakho, ingaba nguwe, ingaba ngusister wakho, you will never know.
Ayingekwazi.
And exactly, and uba lo indlela endimbona enza ngayo at some point ndiyamthanda because uveza the way amapolisa esinawo ekhohlakele ngakhona. Akhohlakele too much, amapolisa agcwele i-corruption too much. uGininda nestaff sakhe uyambona akafaki amapolisa noba ngibani njengelipolisa from day 1 up to today lilo enalisenza into noGininda noJonathan abaya awekho nje amapolisa angena emsebenzini amaphoyisa akuteam yakhe just normal abenza umsebenzi no ngabantu abathile abasondele kuye abenza this dirty job and this thing ifanele iqhubeke njalo and thina singabantu thina sisizwe sifanele sithule simamele uGininda besenze izinto into abazawuzenza kuthi nakubantwana bethu too. Who is always promoting uGininda ukuthi ngoku uyibrigadier uGininda so that aqhubeke acinezele isizwe esimnyama uGininda. No.
No.
This is too much. Anonymous. This is too much. It should stop now.
It should stop.
It should stop. This is enough. This is enough. We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. This is too much. It defends yona ifuneka iqinise inansika especially for uNtanzi no nansika noSibiya bafune inansika ama alibis with that dates into nje nobi one izabakhupha.
No.
That they were not there. That's one thing. That they were not there ngeza date zokubulawa kaSenzo. They were not in Foslorus. And naleyo ukuthi uSibiya ubanjwe enomngane oyi-1 and uSibiya babini. I think mina bafanele babizwe ababafana uSibiya akabanjwa enabo.
Well, kaloku bathola kuphi ngoba nabo bazisabela nje inkosi yami mhlambe labakhona. Uyabona nabantu abezile like the neighbor of that spaza shop. That guy was you could see you could hear in his voice he was nervous.
Ukai.
Yes. Yes. He was nervous.
So really but lento ifanele iyeke because iyaqhubeka so ibonisa ukuthi umthetho wethu eSouth Africa amapolisa ngubani ozawuphinde asebenze nepolisa if amapolisa aso who is going to trust the courts again?
Hey, no one.
Nobody.
No one.
They are busy saying umphakathi mawusebenzisane namaphoyisa awaphi amaphoyisa abantu abasikhohlakalele kanje.
A series in Netflix.
You can't. Awasathembeki amaphoyisa awathembeki. I know there are good cops amongst them. There are very, very good cops who are dedicated to do the job. But kukhona amaphoyisa afana noDinda who are getting promoted, even going to the EDPP bayothetha nabo ukuthi mayithathe iphi case ingathathe iphi case.
Hey madoda, ukwenyenja. No, we heard you. It is alleged. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Steenmas. Ndiyabulela ukuphumela nami. Thank you.
Thank you. Everything said here, it's a court of public opinion. It's people's view, and we do not associate with such views, but we just happen to be in this platform, and people, they have their opinions, and we also have ours. We stand on ours also, as each and every one of us, but the channel has nothing to do with that. It is us acting on our own. Right. Someone is saying, I want to talk about the issue of Mjiako and Major Cronje, who was talking, taking the confession of Ntanzi. While she was reading in court the FFC number saying it belongs to Mjiako, but to find out it belongs to someone in Free State, president needs to intervene in this case because isibugisa ngabantu ehlabathini. Like the person who called now was saying that he wanted to talk, he speak using his language, and he did. He's saying there is nothing basically that is saying these people did it. They might have their own shenanigans, but in all honesty, there is nothing that links them to this case. Mzansi, hello.
Anonymous.
I
here for the second time. I just wanted to tell you something here. I don't know if you understood the discrepancy about umkhane athe uzwila nithi abobuthelezi izolo bathe bebafonela uVeiws or whoever seen there that guy oyebaphethe ne. But today mkhane started they were calling direct to Buthelezi.
Yes,
tomorrow,
I heard that.
Tomorrow, let's wait and see Magwenzuama correction on that. Sorry, my lord. Yesterday, the witness wanted to clarify something.
Obvious. This court will allow that because this court.
Yeah, that's wait and see because today. Ukuthi hey ngifonela uThelezi direct but uThelezi uthe yena bokufonelwa uSing. Then tomorrow morning you're going to say the witness wanted to clarify something, my lord. Then I made a mistake. Actually, I was calling Sing, not Buthelezi.
Yes.
I made a mistake.
Yes.
That's what. Let's wait and see. And watch us over that rectification is official. Okay.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Anonymous.
Thank you, sir. I heard that yesterday. I heard that, Emily, when they were saying that in fact the go-to guy was Buthelezi himself, according to this man who's testifying here. And someone is saying this number, which is FFC 00 something. I'm not gonna continue it. It belongs to someone in Free State, and that's what people are saying. It's alleged to have doesn't belong to such Mjiako. There's no such Mjiako name coming up when they're trying to pull this thing. And obvious that's a problem because you end up making mistakes, and you if indeed this is the case, you ignore certain things. You ignore certain things such as this one. So it worries me that we are in this situation. It worries everyone else. But what can we do? The power, we are basically what we are looking at here. Someone is saying, which is net, they must apply for 174. I heard that also. Someone saying it. Even that analyst from UJ was saying that. it's a waste of time. Not unless they still say they find it amusing to be entertaining this whole circus, because by the looks of things, this judge is happy, even correcting. No, I mean, honestly, if this is a judge who's really, normally the judges of no color, they would be annoyed by now.
Yes.
By a wastage of time. And their time.
They'd be tired.
They will be waiting for that 174.
Yes. So Rata is enjoying it here now.
I guess they are waiting for a trial within trial to finish. But the problem is that if this judge says, "Oh, this is admissible," it looks
going forward. And he is under pressure to make it admissible. Let's be honest, because if he says it's not admissible, this whole case is done.
Can you imagine how Mjiako was operating in these cases? I mean, I don't know if you reached there when you were busy deliberating on this thing.
No, I haven't.
Can you imagine how he was appearing in court, not appearing in court, no accountability, nothing. No one said anything about that. You don't appear in court, then something must give.
The emphasis that Baloi was doing on insisting that
there was Mjiako. He's focusing on proving that there was Mjiako, but he's not looking at the loopholes that is opening. Someone is just disappearing, going out in court. Nothing happens.
What made him emphasize on Mjiako so much is because accused number 2 said he didn't know the man.
Yes. And the man was appearing alone, right? On behalf of someone at some point, right? Is that what they were saying?
Yes. That he was.
So all they needed is to keep this guy at bay while they were investigating allegedly. They just investigate, and then voila, the case is good to go to court. Here we go. Let us start. Accused number 1, accused number 3, accused number 4, number 5. They are saying, we never wrote any statement.
No.
They today could be vindicated because even this man who's in a stand, who knows his duties, he never wrote the statement. It was written for him.
Typed.
That same as Zungu's statement.
Same as Zungu's statement. Zungu's statement was also typed. And remember,
and then when it's typed, the notes disappear or the statement.
The notes were never found. And this time,
and this court entertained
they
that.
Were shredded.
And the man is writing down for what? For what?
The notes were shredded. So they're supposed to take a statement that was typed on the 25th of October, 2023, while this trial within a trial was ongoing.
Exactly. Someone is working tirelessly to collaborate and create this smooth movement of this case. In all honesty,
it's giving forced.
In all honesty, yes, this guy, we can say this guy is failing to actually adhere to whatever that we have seen to other people. What if this guy is just saying, I'm hurtful?
Is this his way of saying he's hurtful?
Yeah. What more can you do? You become shambolic in your testimony. This guy, in what he's saying, there's a bit of what looks like the truth. Ne?
Mm-hmm.
And he messes up where he's supposed to be actually strong. I don't know if you've noticed that.
You might have a point there.
He's messing up where he's supposed to tighten the bolt. Even Malo is irritated.
Oh, the look on his face.
Hey. Ngati mamba. Straight. Ikulunguze emgodini. That look can actually throw you.
It can kill you.
Yo. Yes.
I was like, yo, Malo is stressed today.
We understand that you went, but then what did you do? You can tell he's irritated. He's heartful. He's angry. He's like he wants to kick the hell out of this guy. But unfortunately, this guy is on the stand already. This guy is singing like a canary.
He's singing like a canary. I don't know. But sometimes I feel like maybe he isn't aware, or maybe he's nervous, or what. But he's messing the state's case up. There's so much.
There's so much. He's messing it up. He is messing it up. Emily, I don't know. Maybe people do expect you to finish. Since you came, they don't call now.
How? So now I must finish. Okay, guys, you can call in. Now I've already given up.
No, don't give up. There's someone who's relying on your script.
Okay. Can you put the picture up? I need to fix something.
Yes, it's done. It's done. The picture is done. So that because someone follows maybe through your writings, they would be lost at what we're talking about. Other people, they 100% follow this case. Others, they use
other people don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand, because to fully understand what's going on, I need the script.
Oh, no, Dan. No, I've always said Mshololo should have supported Tifo. From the beginning, I was the first one who said that. I was not happy. If you follow the videos that I was doing, I was not happy that Mshololo left that man to dry.
Hang and dry. They could have made a good team, actually.
Yes.
They could have.
I did say it.
She just didn't want to.
Because now, maybe there's no point of... They are in a point of no return. You know? They could have collapsed this thing from the beginning. And that was... You see, the difference between Tifo and other... That's why people say, hey, Tifo was crazy. He didn't follow procedure. Tifo had... He might have been conflicted. He wanted 375 so bad. So he didn't want to tremble on it. He didn't want to put dirt on it. So he said, let's go to trial within a trial. After looking at all these things, like, no, man, let's go to trial within a trial. He knew this was going to happen, what is happening now, so that it would solve a lot of things. If all that evidence is thrown out, then therefore, apply for 174, finish the case, done, boom, 375 comes in.
Oh, we need that 375. Yo, this one. And you know, for a cold case investigation, I'm kind of disappointed, because with cold cases, aren't you supposed to start investigating where it began, where the incident happened? In this investigation of this cold case unit, I don't see much of that. The focus is accused 1 to 5. That's where their case starts. That's where it starts being built up. Nothing much from, okay, after Bomusia messed up, we went back to the community.
Yes.
We went back to the house.
Yes.
We went back to start or to re-look at where this all began. There's nothing of that.
You see the problem with the position of cold case. You have much power, such that you can even check people's cases that were dismissed. I mean, you now they come back through you because you are a cold case person. So what you say? Okay, I went to investigate that case that was dismissed, that you were allegedly involved in, made a case. Yes, but I resurrected it. That's the power you have.
But that's not investigating.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. So from there, you buy yourself time. You're like, okay.
While you keep this person in prison. But wouldn't it be better to investigate?
It depends on what you wanted.
Find something that will not be debunked in a court of law.
I think you are looking at the point of view of saying, let us investigate this case correctly.
Yes.
And then you should be Tim Buthelezi or Warrant Officer Makubo, who are saying, we are not going to start going outside.
No.
We are going to first go inside the house. We need to understand how a person can push a person with a gun and push the second one with a gun. Now that we find out that there were 2 guns, 9mm and a revolver. You know?
And remember how Tifo said that there was a witness who was in the house who was going to testify that
witness might have came and testified differently.
Now.
So that's why I'm saying it depends on what you want to see.
Because even some of the people in their house and from their house or from the incident, really their testimonies started to get weird around 2018, 2019. They started now
to change the tune.
You know, and I'm asking myself why
they started suing. 2018 is the year where a lot of things went wrong. They started suing the person who wrote the book with them. They started
that they freely and willingly gave information to.
Yes.
And now they are like, oh,
they started
no, it's a lie. He wrote lies.
They started going for Joyce for giving them a protection.
Yes, witness protection.
Witness protection. There's a lot of things that changed. In 2018.
So yeah, it's a lot. So where I had left off is when Baloyi was saying you explained his rights to him verbally, and then Mogani said yes, in Pukeng it was verbal. He said it was verbal. His mode of instruction or how he gave the rules was a verbal. And you know, guys, today, can you please put that picture back up? Today, hi corner, guys. It's not going the way I want.
Yeah.
The rhythm is ruined, but yeah, you can put it back up. I'm okay now.
Yeah,
so
okay.
They are saying that Baloyi also asked, what time was it when you arrested him? And Mogani said it was 9 o'clock. So Baloyi then said, yes. Mogani said, we then drove to Pretoria and we arrived around 10 o'clock.
Yes.
So Mogani said in Pretoria, he then gave Ntanzi a copy of his notice of rights. So the state said that they had not yet received that notice of rights, the SAP 14A, and they will make them available as soon as it arrives. And he says that I read it to him again and explained them in isiZulu, Sesotho, and English. It wasn't even Sesotho, he said Setswana.
Setswana,
like
yes, it's not.
And he's speaking Sepedi. And I'm asking myself, how is this going to work? And I know
is
why
it because
he
of a girlfriend, Tswana girlfriend?
It's because of the girlfriend that he said Setswana. isiZulu, Setswana in English. It's because of the girlfriend. That's why he had to mention the girlfriend was a Motswana. So he literally is implying that Bongani Ntanzi perhaps can hear and understand Setswana.
Because, maybe the rights were mentioned in front of this girlfriend.
Perhaps. Maybe she's also going to come and testify.
We never know.
Before with accused number 3.
Hey, Mazulu. Stay away from that thing, bro.
We've seen it before, so it might happen again. You understand?
Ntanzi was going to pay Lobola in KZN and
in 2014, I think maybe that relationship.
Oh yeah. I think I heard something like that. It's alleged that it didn't after this whole thing.
Perhaps it didn't work out, but before he was arrested before. Before, was it 2020? So in 2020, he's getting arrested and it's with a Motswana girl. So if they did break up, it means maybe they broke up perhaps maybe before 2020. Perhaps.
That would be a mother of
the
child. I would assume. This is obviously not.
We are speculating. We don't have the full information.
Yes.
So he then showed that he understands and proceeded to sign the document. We locked him up on that night. Baloyi asked for the process of booking a suspect in a cell, and Mogani said occurrence book notes were made before he was put in his cell. So there was a policeman who wrote the name of everyone who entered and exited the cell. So Baloyi took Mogani through the entry of the occurrence book. Ntanzi was booked on Tuesday, 2020, June 16, and the time was 22:42, and it had been captured in transit Okay, and when asked to explain what this in transit means, and he said that it means that isbosha that we are bringing is not of that police station.
No jurisdiction in that side, but they are just keeping, because this is a state place, so they can keep you anywhere.
And when he says isbosha, when they say isbosha, do they also refer to people that are awaiting trial?
Umsolwa.
So why is he calling him isbosha?
Because remember when he was trying to explain how Ginindi called him, said these 5 accused, there are 5 people, and then Malo stopped him. So in his mind, these people are Bosha.
Then we got everything we need, and then Malo just stopped the process from happening. But when he said the 5, by December 2019, they were already knowing who they were looking for.
Exactly.
So they shouldn't,
because of the so-called informer.
The informant. Yebo. So yeah, I was perplexed as to why he's calling him Miss Bosha. And Baloy asked him to read the SAP 14A into the record, and the time of arrest, which was 9 o'clock with no injuries, and he was detained correctly, and then he signed. That's what he said. Mohani also said after he put in the cells, we left him there, and I called Brigadier Gininda and told him that we found Ntanzi. We locked him up at Pretoria North Police Station. He then said he'd then go see him the following day. Mohani said on the 17th of June 2020, Mabena, who is late, and himself then went to Pretoria North, and they asked Ntanzi to see Ntanzi. The person that was in charge of the cells then had to make an entry into the occurrence book, and that entry was done, and the time was 22:42. He says we left him there until morning on the following day. So on the evening of the 17th of June 2020, they left with Mabena and went back to Pretoria North. When we got there, we asked to see Ntanzi. We took him out of the cell into the boardroom at the Pretoria North Police Station. So they booked him out of his cell. They went to a boardroom. What was happening in that boardroom? What are the details of that meeting, or what was happening in that boardroom? So Baloy asked for the procedure of the occurrence book entry again, and the entry was made. The date now was the 17th of June 2020, and the time was 16:55. So they went to see Ntanzi the following day in the afternoon, 16:55. 16:55. So Sergeant Mohani is the one who booked Ntanzi out, and there was an error where they labeled Nongoma case 2020 instead of 2018. So the person who had the occurrence book or were making the entries into the occurrence book, this Nongoma case, he gave it the year 2020 instead of 2018. And Mohani was busy making corrections there in the court to say that this is not supposed to be 2020, it was actually 2018. So Baloy then asked what was the purpose of booking him out, what happened there in the boardroom. And Mohani said because he had many cases that affected him, we wanted to ask him properly. The previous night we didn't get the time. So he had many cases. Isn't that interesting? If he had these many cases, where's the investigating team from Nongoma? Where's the investigating team from Foslorus who first had this case in their lab? Bapi, where are they? That is the question I have. That, okay, you're saying they had pending cases, but where are the initial investigators of those cases? So Mohani then said we asked him where he was when Senzo Meyiwa was killed. He did not know about the day of Meyiwa's murder. He said he knew about it because it was all over the news. Then Mohani said I asked him because he was a suspect. Where was he on that day? He said he was at the Sibanye Stillwater mine in Western area. We asked him if he could take us there to ascertain if indeed he was there. And since it was already late, they didn't go and they took him back to the cells and an entry was made in that regard. Bongani said the following day, on the 18th of June 2020, he arrived again at the cells at 8:15 in the morning and an entry was made in the OB book, that investigation. Then they took him out. Bongani said they asked Ntanzi if he knew about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, and Ntanzi said he knew about it, but what he had seen on the media. Bongani said they traveled with Ntanzi to his workplace on the 18th of June 2020 with him, as well as Brigadier Gininda Mogola, to ascertain whether he was on duty that day. So it was Brigadier Gininda Mogola Mamuruti. This time today she was called Mamuruti, Mamfundisi.
He's there. She's there now.
Yeah, she's there.
After the incident of Sibiya, mysteriously went to Vosloorus.
Now
all
she was
the
in
way.
Rustenburg.
Now she's in Rustenburg.
Gininda.
She's got interest in this case. Huge interest.
To ascertain whether he was on duty on that day. Okay, so Bongani said records showed that Ntanzi was not at the work, contrary to what he told them.
Wait.
So they were not in Rustenburg, my apologies, they were in Western area.
So now this is what happens. See, this guy is testifying based on that time.
Yes.
This so-called HR what came and corrected some of the things.
Yes.
You see how difficult it is to rectify some of the things within the case while it's already moving, it's in motion.
Yeah, it is quite tricky. Then identities of suspects, one with a hoodie on and the other one with dreadlocks, were displayed in the court. Bongani said that it was shown to Ntanzi on the day. Bongani said Ntanzi on that day, 18th of June, denied involvement in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. But then after Brigadier Gininda had spoken to Ntanzi, and Ntanzi having told him what he had told him, Brigadier Gininda told them that Bongani Ntanzi had confessed to him.
And Baloy didn't want to hear that.
That he was involved in the murder of Senzo.
Yo, Baloy didn't want to hear that.
Now this is dodgy.
And Baloy was like, please, leave that.
So he denies with Bongani. You know, he denies, he says, I don't know anything about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. I was at work. I don't know anything. And then Brigadier Gininda comes, has a
Lucky
meeting
charm
with him, and he comes out saying, well, he confessed.
Lucky charm. It does happen, like typing the statements.
Brigadier Gininda then said he'd organize someone whom he could talk to, who he could go down and take his confession. So Bongani then said Brigadier Gininda told him he'd look for someone he could tell everything to. So the translator said that he, Ntanzi, does not know anything about the case. Bongani interjected and corrected him and says, Watsiba, he knows about the case. Bongani said the following day Ntanzi was transported to Moroka police station and met with Lieutenant Colonel Mohale Rapadu. He says Constable Wendell Jonathan walked him in because he didn't know anything about the case. So they're saying Jonathan did not know anything about the case. And they later took Ntanzi to Vosloorus. This is where they were concerned about the illegal substance case. Bongani said they could not charge him for the Nongoma case because of jurisdiction. So why are you not going to Nongoma? To find the investigators of this case that you are now using to maneuver and get to move around the Senzo Meyiwa case with it. So why are you not in the proper jurisdiction or even finding out from the proper jurisdiction about the details of the Nongoma
They
case?
couldn't go to Nongoma. You know why?
Why?
if the case was dismissed in Guanongoma, they were going to ask them, what are you doing?
Something is not right. So they literally use this case this is the case they got him with initially, that they initially arrested him for.
So what we are gathering in this, Emil, is that these two guys, they probably do not have any case that they had before they met. That convicted them. That before they met
before they were affiliated with the Senzo Meyiwa case.
That's where problem started.
Because with Ntanzi, if you observe and you look really carefully from yesterday's testimony from the police officer who was testifying, is that, okay, they arrest him, right? They take him wherever. That's according to his version. But they are saying, no, they didn't do that. They went to his place of residence. They didn't find anyone. The uncle was not there. Gidly, they come back. They are saying they are looking for an ID. Right? And then they find ammunition. You look at Ntanzi. Ntanzi, they came with the Nongoma case.
Yes.
They arrest him. They take him from his place of residence, Pretoria, Veiws, everything. You understand? Then they go back the second time to his place of residence. They are saying, we're looking for a hoodie. What do they find? Ammunition. There's a pattern here, man. It's a troubling pattern. And then after they find that ammunition, what I want to know is, why were you not searching on the first visit? Why didn't you come prepared with search warrants on the first visit?
And even on the second one, they might
then
not have a search warrant.
Yes, you still don't have a search warrant. You still got time to organize a search warrant. And you still don't have it. And you go back the second time. But you are making them look for stuff that are weird. You are making Ntanzi look for an ID. You are making Ntanzi look for a hoodie. You are making Sibia look for an ID. What is going on? Hi, man. Go dodgy, man. This thing is just dodgy. Baloy then asked for Mohani to bring the docket for the Foslorus illegal substance case. Why isn't he asking for the docket of the Nongoma case? Bring the docket of all these cases.
Simple as that.
So why specifically this illegal substance only? So is this case in any way linked to the one Yasbi? Because Bia also has a case of illegal substances as well.
And we must remind you, this is an initiative that came through when they were arrested, right?
Yes.
So obviously there will be a docket, then they will have that docket, but the other dockets, no, it was not their doing. So they would need to follow certain procedures.
Well, while they were in Foslorus, Mohani said that he called Gininda to suggest that they travel to Pukeng to look for the hoodie that the eyewitnesses who were in the house when Meyiwa was shot and killed told the court one of the alleged intruders had worn. We have a problem with this hoodie. It doesn't have a color.
Because it was drawn from, it's a scratch, that thing.
It didn't have a color. It was darkish. We don't.
So they were looking for something darkish.
So Mohani said when we arrived at Pukeng police station, we asked the police to accompany us to his residence. They are going there for the second time to his place of residence, which they then did. It was already dark. Ntanzi had his key in his pocket and we asked him to hand over his key. We entered and there was no one. His girlfriend was not there. We went in, Sergeant Mohula and Mabena, as well as some of the Pukeng police officers, while Brigadier Gininda remained in the car. So Mohani said we then asked him to look for the hoodie that looked like the one in the identikits. There were several hoodies of several colors, but we didn't find the color that we saw in the picture. And what color is that? I would like to know from you, what color is in that sketch? it's very interesting that you were looking for a hoodie of a specific color. When the people in the house said they don't remember the color and they said it's darkish. So, had you found a darkish hoodie, what would we be saying today? So now that you didn't find this darkish hoodie,
you happen to find
a black plastic bag
rifle ammunition
with rifle ammunition. Yeah, ne? So Mogani then said that when he was busy searching his clothes, he felt a black plastic bag that had steel and metal things. It was a black plastic inside the wardrobe. It was amongst the clothes right at the bottom, and when he took it out, the plastic, he opened it and found bullets. There were 13. Magic number 13. How many did they find? It was also 13.
Magic
Or was
number.
it 32? I don't remember correctly, but I remember 13.
Not 16.
It was 13. So there were caliber was rifle rounds. Rifle. So Ntanzi is carrying around bullets for a rifle. A rifle is a big gun. It's huge. And you would be using it for serious crimes, right? Like your cash in transit, something like that.
Yes.
Heavy stuff, right? Or the way they take out some people at the ranks. They kind of use those machines. Yeah, and yeah, let's hear what Mogani said. Okay, I found it very dodgy. There's a part where he said some very dodgy things. And all this is happening, and Gininda, who told them to look for that hoodie, is in the car. Mogani said Ntanzi kept quiet and just looked at him when he asked him about the bullets. He asked him if he had a license for the bullets. And he also asked him if he had a very large rifle since he came from the villages. Perhaps he shoots at animals. But he failed to explain. Now I found this very offensive.
Oh no, yeah, it's not offensive, I mean.
Why?
It's okay.
Because I'm like,
uphuma eduze kwesiqiwi, uyasazi isiqiwi?
No.
La kukhishwa khona inyamazana, what do they call it in that thing in English?
I don't know, isiqiwi.
Yeah, but they keep animals like it says what is it called? Is it not a zoo? What is it called? Where they keep animals, parks,
a game park.
A game park, yes.
But then, he doesn't have a license.
No.
For the firearm.
No.
He doesn't. So he would take ammunition from a firearm that he kept at home.
In KZN and come with it here. Or maybe they want to say someone gave him.
And you are saying it's a Nongoma case. But this Nongoma case, it sounds like people died in that Nongoma case, right? It sounds serious.
It does sound like that.
So then he arrested him again and read him his rights. This is his second arrest.
And this is what would make him.
To the Nongoma arrest?
This is what would make him stay there
longer. Sure. So what were the odds of them finding a hoodie that was used to commit a crime in 2014 with Ntanzi's DNA on it? Now the question we need to ask ourselves is, what would have happened if they found nothing? No hoodie and no bullets. But since they did not find the hoodie, they found the bullets.
There was no way they were not going to find anything.
Ne?
No way.
So from there, they closed his room and went to Phokeng police station, where he opened a case of possession of ammunition without a license. He opens this case. It's the jurisdiction of the case. Phokeng, right? Why are you not leaving him in Phokeng? Why are you taking him now to Pretoria? Like, I don't understand. Me, I don't get it. So how convenient, right? How convenient. And why is also the state not asking for the docket for the Vosloorus case? How much weight did it have? And why is it not enough now that the trips were taken to Rustenburg to look for hoodies and find bullets? Like, I don't understand. So also, yeah, it was not giving. I don't get it. So Mogani said they returned with him and went to Gauteng Primrose Police Station. It's in Johannesburg, from what I hear. So Baloyi said he processed at the cells at Phokeng. Mogani said we registered him on the OB, but he never entered the cells at Phokeng. Why? And to think of it, this would have given his friends, acquaintances, colleagues, people that were looking for him, a chance for them to find him, right? In Phokeng. But no, y'all didn't leave him there. Took him all the way to Primrose in Johannesburg. Why? Baloyi showed him yet another OB to place the particulars on record, Saturday, 20th of June, 2020. And the time there that was captured was 0040. So this is 40 minutes past midnight. And suspect detained by Mogani Phokeng, case 118 of 6/2020, possession of live ammunition. Baloyi also showed him a notice of his rights in terms of the Constitution for accused number 2, and it is dated the 19th of June 2020. That's when he signed this notice of rights. So he was transferred from Phokeng to Primrose in Johannesburg. They placed him there because there were many other cases that they were investigating him for.
And you'll come to realize that none of these cases were existing.
So was this an investigation or a pinning and cooking? What was happening here? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So Mogani said they took him to the Phokeng court for his appearance. Baloyi once again asked for the OB records of Primrose to be read by Mogani. Him making him read these OB entries literally was to emphasize that there were no injuries or no complaints. And why would there be any? Okay, honestly speaking, we are over that, Baloyi. Get over it. So they went with him to Tlhabane, and then they postponed his case to the 29th. He said he was not sure, but the case was postponed. Baloyi made Mogani read the charge sheet. And why did Mogani handle this case of ammunition in Botlani? Is that his jurisdiction? Why could it not be assigned to any of the police officers in Phokeng? And isn't Mogani's work to investigate cold cases? Is this a cold case?
If it was dismissed, then I think it will fall into cold case after some time.
So the Nongoma case more fitted his job description than this ammunition one. So why was he not investigating the Senzo Meyiwa case, guys? Is this part of investigating the Senzo Meyiwa case?
Yes.
Is that how they do it in cold case division? They don't go back to where the scene happened. They don't relook at the evidence that was collected. Don't they retest what could still be retested from 26th of October 2014? So the case was postponed to the 3rd of August 2020, the one in Tlhabane. And Baloyi corrected him to read from the statement. And actually what was written on the statement is that it was adjourned to the 19th or to the 29th of June. Yes, the 29th of June 2020 on the document. So Mogani accompanied the accused to court on the 13th of July 2020. And Mogani said when the accused appeared at the Tlhabane Magistrate Court, he was represented by Dominic Mjiako, as well as on several other dates that followed. Baloyi made Mogani read from the court, is it a charge sheet? Mr. Mjiako requests postponement to the 3rd of August 2020 in discussion with the DPP. The appearance of the 3rd of August 2020, Mr. Mjiako was appearing for the accused, and Baloyi was putting emphasis on Mjiako for
Is
some
that the same
reason.
DPP that chose this one?
I don't know which DPP this one is, because the court that they're talking about is in Rustenburg. It's Tlhabane Court. So it could be a different DPP.
Do we have
from that
DPPs
region.
on the regions?
I don't know.
Isn't it one DPP?
Actually, the South Gauteng, North Gauteng, don't they have different DPPs?
I don't know.
Or is it one for the entire province? I don't know. So, Baloy was putting emphasis on Mjiako for some weird reason, like that is supposed to convince us that Ntanzi was willingly represented by Mjiako, that he hired him. You know, the way he was emphasizing his presence, it was like, it's like you are certain that he hired him or he didn't pop out of nowhere. So the 17th of August 2020, Mohani read, it's written, Mr. Mjiako, but he was not present. Is this a good lawyer? Is this a lawyer you'd want to represent you while you have cases that are piling up against you? Would you want a lawyer that doesn't show up? What happens when he doesn't show up? Right? Do you have the right to fire this lawyer? Did Ntanzi had the option of firing?
There's no option. This is your lawyer.
He came out of nowhere.
There's no take it or leave it. No, this is your lawyer, chief.
Then Baloy said the 20th of August 2020, who was making an appearance on behalf of accused number 2. And
what's her name there? Dominique.
Mr. Mjiako again. Accused abandoned application for bail. Now you must be a terrible lawyer if you convince your client to abandon an application for bail. You know, in Makudumala's case, the reason why she's been advised to abandon bail is because the chances of her getting bail are very, very, very slim.
Very slim.
Go was found in Tanzania. Ntanzi was found in South Africa. Ntanzi, the police know his place of residence, but the lawyer is saying he chose to abandon bail. He's working. He probably had some coin in the bank account and he's being advised to abandon his bail application.
Mjiako. Mjiako adlala mfana. Mjiako.
Why, guys? No ways. So if this Mjiako was a good lawyer, how did his client abandon their bail application? On what grounds? It does not sound like he even fought for his client to get a bail application going in the first place. It looks like it was not even his interest. It looks like he wasn't interested in getting a bail application going, you know? It's so weird. So Baloy then said appearance on the 5th of October 2020, who was appearing on behalf of accused. And Mohani said it remains Mr. Mjiako. Baloy then said in the proceedings of November 2020, Mohani said it still remains Mr. Mjiako who was representing him. Proceedings of the 26th of November 2020.
I don't want no Mjiako representing me.
It is still Mr. Mjiako, but he did not arrive. But guess what? The confession that they started with at the beginning, he was there. So I don't know. Yes, Baloy likes to make us dizzy. Now that I re-look at the dates, you guys, I'm like, we are getting played here. We are getting played. He's trying to cancel that narrative of saying that Ntanzi said he did not know who Mjiako was. The first time he saw Mjiako was during the confession stage. He's powerful though, this
Mjiako, because he can make arrangements with the DPP.
He is.
So powerful. He not the judge.
With a number that can't be traced.
Yeah, not the judge. He makes arrangement with DPP. Not the judge. The magistrate is there. No. I'll leapfrog you. You'll get a message from the DPP.
Look at Baloy's psychology on us. Like he's trying to cancel this narrative of saying that Ntanzi said he did not know who Mjiako was, right? By mentioning all the court appearances. But these court appearances are appearances after he made the confession with the magistrate in Boksburg.
He made an effort to actually travel all the way.
So he's trying to confuse us.
Yeah, he is.
Bombastic side eye.
Dominic.
Shame. So Baloyi said that they will go to Mr. Mjiako later on. And then they came back with him after the case was postponed. Now this is Mokgani continuing with his testimony. They returned with him to Pretoria Moot Police Station. Monday the 22nd of June 2020, after his court appearance, they appeared in Kabani. Wednesday the 24th of June 2020 at 13:20 went out for cold case investigation. Then Baloyi said, what was the purpose of signing out the accused? And Mokgani said, we were taking him out to make a confession as arranged by Brigadier Kininda. He said they should take him to the Boksburg Magistrate Court himself, and Sergeant Mabena escorted by EMPD. Hi, Baloyi. Baloyi is dangerous because he puts those court appearances just before he speaks about what happens at Boksburg Magistrate Court. So if you're not really observant and listening, you will think that Ntanzi lied when he said that he was meeting or he saw Mjiako. He didn't know Mjiako. He didn't know who he was when he was being allegedly made to sign that confession at Boksburg in front of the magistrate.
Yebo. So
Hashem, he's tricky.
Didn't you see that? You just saw that now?
I just saw it now.
No,
I'm like,
this is the same
this
man.
is a psychology game.
This is the same man who start with what is supposed to end with. The order of these people coming to testify.
Hey guys, be careful.
He starts with
Be
people.
careful. I was starting to even believe that because people are running with the narrative now that Bongani lied. Bongani is a liar. Bongani lied. Bongani Ntanzi is a liar. But no, guys, we were played here. We were played psychologically for those of us who were not really, really observant. It's only now that I'm noticing what he was doing. And it kind of worked. So if you are slow, it's going to work.
What are you saying? These people who really are questioning when Ntanzi was, they are slow?
Well, if they don't re-look and look, you will end up falling for such traps where you think Ntanzi lied and then you look stupid.
It does, man. You know how difficult to be a teacher. I started respecting it when you started this case. No, I was always thinking it's man.
No, it's a
But
lot of work.
being a teacher is a hard work.
Yeah,
guys.
it's hard work. I have
Convincing
respect for teachers.
someone that they have to study and believe in that thing. Look at what is happening here. Now I lose it. Now I tell you once, in fact, 1 + 1 is equals to 2.
I'm only noticing it now, you guys. That's why I'm like, if you are slow, Ubaloyi will play with you psychologically. You will believe he's winning. Like you will, you'll be like, okay, maybe he has a point. Maybe it's there's nothing here. Like there's honestly seriously
Baloyi is
nothing.
not winning anything.
To use that trick of using court appearances that came at a later stage after the confession before to make it seem like Ntanzi lied by saying that
Hayi nomphethe lo madala nithi uhlakaniphile, awumphethe. Mawukuthi kanjani nawe uyamtribula. Awuyamtribula.
So then
He's writing down there. And then he takes those eyes, those snake eyes, give it them to the judge. And then he says, then he start looking on the side. Yes.
I'm like, yo,
Then this is what happened.
can't die. There's nothing. There's seriously nothing. Like, I'm like, I was worried about that. I'm like, what is happening here?
And then he looks at the judge and then he's like, can you put that in record? Yeah, that was a shy pretty. God.
Then the SPP was going to take the accused to the magistrate who was going to take the confession. Mokgani said that he introduced himself to Magistrate Konye, Sergeant Mokgani, and that he had brought the accused to make a confession. She wanted his appointment certificate. He was in the company of Liesering and Jonathan. that have already testified.
You see the order? They were supposed to come and close the loopholes. The main people is the guy that is at
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always put him last. Like
you see now, you want Kininda. You're not
he
gonna
might
get
not
him.
even
He might
appear
not
on this
even
trial
appear in
within
the
the trial.
Yes.
He might appear in the trial,
but
not and as the last witness. The last witness. Then Gomezulu stood to ask if the witness was reading from the statement or if he was just giving his testimony orally. The judge said his statement. So they could see that he was reading his statement as he was testifying. The judge also saw it and said nothing. Wow. So Mokgani then said he is reading
yeah, but
the
you
notes.
put it there so that you can remind yourself, my lord.
Okay.
Typed statement, it's typed. All these statements are typed. No, nothing is written. No handwriting there, Bab. You only sign. Same as the accused. You initial there. Even if you are there, you are not there. You will initial.
Mokgani said he's reading the notes from his statement. Baloy asked if he was reading from his statement, and Mokgani said no, not all the time. So, is it the statement or notes? Asked the judge. Mokgani said it's a statement. The judge asked if it was signed, and Mokgani said yes. The judge asked by whom? Who signed it? And Mokgani said by me. Baloy then said, do you need to refer to the statement or can you testify without referring to the statement? Mokgani said, I need to refer. And I'm like, kwenzakalani la? Mkomezulu said, but before the statement was read, there was no basis. Meaning that there was no basis. The questions that they usually ask, the questions that are usually there before someone testifies using their statement. But he didn't do that step. Okay? And the judge said it is for refreshing their memories. But if you want to object, you can object. I'm like, Judge, what is this?
You see, the problem is that we are different in when it comes to our make. Some of us could memorize, maybe. I've got a picture memory. Someone else has got is good in memorizing.
Yeah.
Huge amount of memory. Someone else has a short
with voice, with hearing.
Someone is good in when it comes to keeping information, fresh information.
Yes.
But their memory does not last for long. I don't know in terms of the person who's testifying where he falls, but it doesn't seem like
because Jonathan
he could go as far as 2 days.
They were speaking from their experience. Okay. Were they truthful? We don't know. But they had nothing reminding them in front of them of their testimonies. Am I lying? But this one needs a whole entire statement to be reminded of what to say. Now that on itself is a red flag.
I get other kids, they don't start at night when they're supposed to start. And then when it's time to go and write a test, they have the whole chapter staged it. So I guess you'll get different people to come and testify. Eventually, you're gonna mess up.
Mokgani said his statement was typed by Brigadier Gininda. It was typed up by Brigadier Gininda.
All you need to do is to tender your signature.
Written his own notes with his own handwriting.
Which he says he couldn't see.
But it was not legible. No, it was not legible. Meaning that it wasn't clear. You couldn't see exactly what was being written or what had been written. That was the first excuse. Okay? Then Mokgani said that he had made notes and there were mumbles among the defense team.
Note statements.
Yes, note statements. And then Mokgani said he had handwritten the notes and not a statement. Brigadier Gininda.
That was after Balo was probably, is it notes or statements?
Brigadier Ginita
So tomorrow, today,
commissioned the typed up statement.
so today, expect that thing to be fully admitted as his notes.
We've seen it before with Zungu.
Do expect that. Don't worry.
We saw it before.
We
with
know,
Zungu.
we know what we're dealing with here when it comes to the judge.
And then he came with a pre-written judgment without hearing arguments.
The guy is just out of hell.
The Zungu issue, it was this issue. So he overruled it and said that statement is fine. It can continue.
If the defense know what is good for them, they should be preparing the defense for that thing, because he's gonna come and say, submit your defense.
He's
That's
gonna
how.
make
That's
them work
you
overtime.
know how this judge operates. He wants to catch you off guard. When Ngomezulu is submitting that the statement is not admissible, give me the law. How about you give him the law that says that this statement is admissible? Since when you know all these laws by hand, give him so that he can counter that. But you are saying he must give you, because you are submitting on behalf of the state. So submit fully so that he can counter that.
Yes. So the judge asked if the statement was given to the defense. He's saying you're not taking them by ambush or surprise. They are aware of those those statements. And Baloyi said yes. Mgomezulu stood to say the typed statement is the one that was given to counsel, but the original, the handwritten one, was never given. So Mogani now said his eligible handwritten statement was shredded. It was not of any use. So it cancels the date, the originality is no longer there. We have this one that was written on the 25th of October while the trial within a trial was happening. Guys, so the judge said the point is that what you related to this court is what you perceived, experienced, and did. Or is there somebody else who is telling you what to testify on? Gininda never told you what to say. And Mogani said, no, he didn't do that. Mogani said that was shredded notes in the form of a statement but not completed. And the judge asked if the witness was on the list. And Baloyi said they were witness number 107. So they're trying to create the
judge is looking at all angles.
Yeah, they're trying to create the perception that because he is on the witness list, it means there's no way he could have rearranged his statement or changed it. But that's exactly what he did. Where's the original one? And why didn't you disclose it before?
That the original statement is shredded.
Why couldn't you disclose it as early as that? Why is it now being disclosed and it's typed on the 25th of October? What are we supposed to make of this as the court of public opinion? I see what is happening in the court, but Tina as umphakathi, what do we make of such? So the judge said it's not like it flown from heaven. Mgomezulu said the statement is recently made on the 25th of October. He said, my lord, I will submit that the statement was irregularly made. It was recently made and contains fabrications. Without the original handwritten statement, how do we conclude that it was not fabricated? Then the judge said, who? Who fabricated it? Mgomezulu said the manner in which it was taken. Gininda is the lead investigator. On the 25th of October, during the course of the trial within a trial,
that's how he threatens them.
A statement is discovered to the defense without making a cross-reference with the original statement, because when he made the statement, the authenticity of the statement shall be drawn from the original version that the witness has. So I was thinking to myself, okay,
one thing that this judge must know is that Ngomezulu is Zulu. He's not shaken.
Not at all.
Unlike which I think normally is maybe because of his junior. Maybe.
But he will get there.
He will get there.
With experience. You can see Ngomezulu's experience.
They are not shaken, man. It's just waiting for you to throw your tantrums, and then he comes back and he explains, this is why I'm saying this.
We saw it being shoved down our throats with Zungu's typed statement as well. We saw it. We
All
saw
these
it
statements
being
are not right.
shoved into the court. Gankani by force.
And it stood.
And it stood.
And it made headlines.
Yeah. Yes. And Mgomezulu said if the statement was not typed by Brigadier Gininda himself, there's prospects that they were fabricating issues. And the judge argued and said that the investigating officer can take a confession. And then he later on corrected to say a statement. He was trying to tell us that an investigating officer can take a confession even though they are advised not to. He said there's a law that even says it. But I'm like, Ihlanganapi. And then he later on says, no, it's actually a statement instead of a confession. So Baloyi told Mohani to put away the statement. However, he's almost done with his evidence in chief. The damage is already done. So in cross-examination,
they must submit that there is no cure on this thing.
Yeah.
The damage had already been done.
So I don't understand why now he's saying that he must put it down. Usilo Baloyi. Mohani then put the statement aside and testified without referring to it. And it was very little left. He confirmed that he saw Advocate Njiako in Boxback Magistrate Court. Yeah. And the judge also assisted with the confirmation.
I want to know Judge Gazubaba Gabani. Whose father is this?
Well, Baloyi asked for postponement or for the early adjournment as the state wanted to move the focus from accused number 2 to accused number 1. So tomorrow, we are hearing about accused number 1. I don't think he's done, Mohani. But the damage is already done with that statement he was reading from that is typed and was typed on the 25th of October by Brigadier Gininda.
Hayi ezemidlalo
uyathanda ukutypa inengabhali ubrigadier Gininda inengabhali
maybe une-typist maybe
uyathanda ukutypa yo
maybe there's a typist.
Mina bengazi nokuthi now they are able to type statements. We can all type. Agir, we can type our own statements from now, can't we?
Okay.
Yes, we must type our own statements. I don't want the police officer misinterpreting what I'm saying.
All right, guys, that's it.
No, that's it.
That's
in
what
a nutshell.
In a nutshell. It's a bye. And thank you.
Thank you guys, and for also calling those who called earlier. I appreciate it so much. And you guys on the chat for keeping the show going, because a girl is going through a lot these days. So yeah, hopefully I can get back to normal programming, guys. Ngiyazama. I'm trying.
So, as usual, we call the names. So I'm gonna start somewhere randomly. Thank you, Dibuo. Thank you, Chris Ndlovu. Thank you, Katleho. Thank you, Chuku. Petro. Sizwe Mgaga. Dibuo. Net. That's how they said I must call it. The name. Ansi K. Moyo. Elizabeth Vuyiswa. Kata. Yeah. Bongile Vusimuzi Mkhosi Tembeka Lindeni yes Nostelo yes these are people who were busy here Thokozi Silanga. Thank you.
Thokozi Silanga is a family member of Mzansi. Like he's the
Siyabulela Mzizi.
Thokozi Silanga is on this case. Like I don't know, you guys don't understand. He's on the T.
Happy.
He's moving with
happiness. Thank you. Just picking people that I've never. But you know, faith Thank
Hi,
you.
Faith. How are you?
Just gonna pick people that let me go down here. Thank you. Sibusiso Moloi, thank you.
I see Katleho ruling.
Yes, Katleho Rolin. I've called Sia Skulu. Thank you. Njabulo Nkosi,
Chuku
Anna,
Chuku Anna.
Colin Lovu, Net, and I think Lindeni Hadebe. Thank you so much.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Big major shout out to all of you.
All of you
thank
guys.
You so
those
much.
We called, those we couldn't call. Thank you. And until we see each other
tomorrow.
And
tomorrow I'll show up, I promise.
Yeah, it's a bye, guys. Thank you.